Ma'am, good morning, ma'am.
Sir, yesterday session ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்குன்னு நிறைய மெசேஜஸ்
Thank you, ma'am.
வந்துட்டே இருந்தது சார் எங்களுக்கு வாட்ஸ்அப்லயும்.
Thank you.
அதனால
Thank you.
இட் வாஸ் வெரி கிளியர் அண்ட் விவிட்னு சொல்லியிருந்தாங்க சார். அதனால
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you for joining us today also, sir.
Ma'am, thank you, ma'am. Actually, இன்னைக்கு வீட்ல இருந்தாங்க மேம், அதனால நான் ஜாயின் பண்ணேன்.
Welcome, Parth, once again.
Sir, thank you, sir. Welcome, sir.
Partha sir, good morning, sir.
Ma'am, good morning, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. Good morning.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, Dr. Joel.
Good morning, sir. Sir, Ravi sir, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Dr. Thamimani.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Professor Parth sir, good morning, sir. And
Welcome, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Joel, sir. Welcome, sir.
Good morning, Professor Joel. Good morning.
Sir, good morning, sir. Dr. Tamilmani, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Madam Tangarajati, madam. Good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir. Sir, good morning.
I was one of the participants where you handled a session, ma'am, in Bharatiya University.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Very eager to listen to you, ma'am.
Sir, thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Sir, also, sir, also.
Vanakkam. Arulsami sir.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Good morning.
Joel.
Sir, your mic is.
Please unmute your mic. Joel.
Good morning, sir.
வணக்கம் வணக்கம் ஜோயல். தலைவர் காணா.
Good morning to all.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
So can we start now?
Ma'am, shall we wait one more minute?
Okay, sir.
We shall start, ma'am, now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Greetings and warm welcome from Michael Job Memorial College of Education for Women, Coimbatore, India. This is Dr. Pithiru Selvi, who is going to moderate this session. Thank you for your enthusiasm shown to us to attend this program and for your today's presence. Now, may I request Dr. D. Kalevani, Assistant Professor, Michael Job Memorial College of Education for Women, to welcome you all.
Dr. Kalyavani, you are not audible. We couldn't hear you.
Very good morning to you all. With great pleasure, I welcome you to our faculty development program on evaluation strategies and classroom management skills. Welcoming you all today is a Welcoming you all to today is a profound honor for me. I am Dr. D. Kalyavani from Michael Job Memorial College of Education for Women. First of all, let me thank the Lord Almighty for His gracious presence and for strengthening us through His knowledge and
Kalyavani, one minute, Kalyavani, please switch off any one of your device. I think your device is also on. That is why echoing comes. You just unmute your device. Okay, now you can continue. Now you continue.
First of all, let me thank the Lord Almighty for His gracious presence and for strengthening us through His knowledge and wisdom to organize this program in glorious manner. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. I extend my heartfelt welcome to our beloved President, Dr. Mary Job, for her support and encouragement. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. I deem it a great honor to welcome our leader, Mr. T. Kosi, head of MJC institution, who always inspire us to fabricate our supreme work in the academic arena. Kindness is the greatest wisdom. I would like to extend my hearty welcome to such a kind-hearted person, Mr. Babu P. Varu, Secretary, NJC Institutions. Leadership is the capacity to transform vision into reality. I extend cordial welcome to such a personality, Mrs. Elizabeth T., Trustee and Head Operations, for her insight and visionary to elevate this institution into new heights. I extend a warm welcome to our CEO, Mr. Matthew V. Francis, who is always wholehearted to expand leadership qualities for the betterment of the institution. It's my immense pleasure to share the cordial welcome to Mr. Pradeep Raj, Legal Director, NJC. The most beautiful thing you can wear is a confidence. At this special moment, my heartiest welcome goes such a confident and versatile person in the field of educational technology, Dr. S. Tangarajati, our resource person for today's session. If you have the courage to start, you have the courage to succeed. One such a courageous person who always succeeds in his endeavor is Dr. R. Ravi, Mr. Principal, Michael Job College of Education. It's my privilege to extend a great welcome to you, sir. My sincere welcome to Dr. Shalini PK, Principal, Michael Job College of Arts and Science, and Mrs. Shanti, Principal, Michael Job Higher Secondary School, who constantly instills support for every academic movement under Michael Job institutions. I acknowledge a warm and hearty welcome to Dr. R. Kogilavani, Coordinator, IQAC, Michael Job College of Education. It's my immense pleasure to have Mr. Kurivilla, Manager, Michael Job College, and Mr. Joseph Elias, Operation Infrastructure, and Superintendent of Sabina Astel among us. A warm, hearty welcome to you. Here, I acknowledge my heartfelt welcome to faculty members from various institutions and valuable participants across the globe. Now, speaker introduction. Indeed, it's a great privilege for me to introduce our resource person today, who is going to deliver a lecture on the topic classroom management skill, which has a great significance in handling classes both online and offline, and stir us up with achieve the desired outcome. Dr. S. Tangarajati, Professor, Department of Educational Technology, Bardiyar University, Coimbatore, has done has master degree in psychology and educational technology and PhD in education. Her field of specialization includes educational psychology, educational technology, and educational research. She has wealthy experience in the field of educational research and teaching B.Ed and M.Ed students over 20 years, including Andamal College of Education, Tuticorin, Madurai Kamarajan University, and Bardiyar University. Under her guidance, more than 50 scholars have completed their MPhil courses, 20 have completed their PhD courses. Our resource person has also completed and submitted many research projects, among which development and validation of interactive multimedia package on disaster management learning activities for school students, funded by ICSSR, establishing career and entrepreneur skills required for e-learning service industries, funded by RUSA, digital skill training for prospective teachers, funded by RUSA, are noteworthy. She has published 55 research papers and presented on more than 40 topics. She has participated 10 training programs and 15 workshops and delivered special talks in 56 conferences, workshops, and seminars. She is an active member of Board of Studies, Department of Educational Technology, Bardiyar University, Karunya University, and Karpagam University. Her experiences in instructional software production includes developing multimedia package and instructional video films, developing e-content modules on system analysis for e-assessment, and media selection for Swayam MOOC course e-assessment. Developing e-content on growth and development, principle of growth and development, student-teacher relationship, and impact of nature and nurture on child development. Her sincere and dedicated service in this field driven her to fetch awards like Best Women Faculty Award for having been adjudged for the academic excellence in education and educational technology among teachers in higher education in India by Nature Science Foundation, Coimbatore, during the academic year 2018 and 19. Outstanding Women in Humanities and Social Sciences for the contribution and achievement in the field of education by Venus International Foundation, Chennai, Tamil Nadu in the year 2019. National Science Day Appreciation Award for 2 times from Bardiyar University for the project sanction in National Science Day celebration during the year 2021 and 2022. We are proud and privileged to have such an eminent resource person to accomplish this program. Once again, a warm welcome to you, ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your nice introduction.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Kalaivani, for your elaborate explanation about the resource person and the welcome speech. And here are a few more instructions for the participants. Dear participants, feel free to use chat box to drop your questions, which will be addressed and answered at the end of the session. Feedback link will be shared to you at the end of the session, and the submission of feedback form is really compulsory. Okay, and e-certificate will be issued to the participants who have submitted the feedback forms on both the days. Here, I wanted to explain to you that your overwhelming responses are really an encouragement and boon for us to conduct more FTPs. Thank you for your responses, and we like to continue. We like to continue to have this cooperation and responses in this field of education. And now we are excited to inform you that a series of FDPs are on the way. So we have planned to conduct FDPs in the following months. In the month of March, FDP on stress management, and in the month of April 2024, is FDP on creative thinking and critical thinking skills, and an FTP on instructional designing to upskill the teachers in the month of May. So it is really an important announcement for you, dear participants, and we anticipate your presence and support for this also. Thank you for listening us. Now it's time to hand over the session to our resource person. Thank you all, and welcome to you, Madam Tangarajati, ma'am. And we are very, very excited to listen to you once again. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you, madam. Thank you. At the outset, I would like to thank the management and the principal, Dr. Ravi, and the coordinator, Dr. Tirchalvi madam, for having given me this opportunity to share my knowledge about that classroom management skills. So thank you once again for giving me this opportunity. So before going into this topic, that is the classroom management skills, just I want to ask a few questions to you all. First, just every one of us, almost everyone, every one of us, we has favorite teacher. So, who is your favorite teacher, and what made you to cherish this relationship still? Just from the primary system, or from the first standard, or in during this higher education, just you may think, just who is your favorite teacher? Just you can give your answer. You can type in the answer chat box. Type your answer in the chat box. What made you to think? Just expect at least 2 or 3 responses from the participants. Okay, why? Why? That is the reason. Why? So many answers. So what is the reason? What causes his love and care for each student? Is good motivator. So the human touch. Yes, human touch. I think history is a good subject. Honesty stimulates my heart. Yes, affectionate approach, love and care, this motivator. So the most of the, thank you for your wonderful responses. Most of the responses, it's related to that love and care. So am I correct? So love and care, and also that affectionate, the punctuality. So these are all considered as the qualities of a good researcher. So am I correct? So the teacher, one who possesses all these qualities, is considered as a favorite teacher, as a good teacher. Okay, so most of us, we think that love and care. Love and care is the best, it's very important quality for a teacher. Okay, so there is love and care means, how, that is, as a person from psychology, just I used to say that the best teacher is one who understands the psychology of the students. Okay, so due to the impact of technology, our role has changed. So that now just we are acting as a motivator or as a facilitator. But still, we just, the computer, we are taking care of our students. So that is one of the best quality of a teacher. Okay. So what is the major aim of our education? Main aim of our education is all-round development of an individual. So development in all aspects, that is our main aim. So development in all aspects means is the cognitive aspects, affective aspects, and also the psychomotor aspects. To reach these goals, to achieve these goals, 5 M's, that is men, machines, materials, media, and methods. So these 5 M's are working together to achieve those goals. Am I correct? So that is these materials means is a human resources as well as the material resources. Some material resources and also the human resources. Human resources means is the teachers, administrators, so other peoples. So they're all working together to achieve a specified goal. So that is our educational system. So education is also considered as a system. We have so many variables. We have some input variables. We have some process variables. We have some output variables. So all these variables are working together to achieve the all-round development of our student. Okay, so that is the major aim of our education. So in this education system, the first primary factor is the student. Student is considered as the core factor of any educational system. Why? Because without student we can't teach. So that we followed that even student-centered education. So previously we followed that subject-centered education. Now we are in the student-centered education. What the students need. So according to their needs, based on their needs, we are providing the education. Then the second important factor is the teacher. So teacher is considered as the second important factor in all the educational system. So what is the role of the teacher nowadays? So the role of the teacher, that is during the Gurukula system, teacher was considered as a guru because at that time teacher was the only source of information. But now the teachers, as I said earlier, the teacher's role has changed. Just we are acting as a facilitator because teacher is considered as the one of the sources of information. The students can get material from anywhere. But our role is now changed as a guide. Okay, so in this situation, classroom management is considered as one of the important skill for the teachers. Because teaching is not a simple task, it's a very complex task. It consists of so many skills. You know that it's more than 25 skills are there. So what are the major skills required for the teachers? The main skill is explanation skill. You know that? What is that explanation skill? As a teacher, first we should know how to explain the concept clearly. So that is very important skill which is necessary for all the teachers. So explanation skill means how to explain the concept without using any instructional aids. Even without touching the board, we have to explain the concept clearly. So that is the major skill is required for any efficient teacher, an efficient teacher. So what is this explanation skill means? We have some components. We have to explain the concept by using only with the words, by linking words. Similarly, likewise, like that we have to explain the concept. Okay, so likewise some other skills are also there. So how to write in the blackboard. So how to motivate the student, that is the reinforcement. So how to ask questions. So how to ask questions in the beginning of the class. So during the class, the end of the class, how we can ask, and also stimulus variations. So how we have to variate our stimulus, the movement, and also assessment. So many strategies, as Pathasari sir explained, so many evaluation strategies, how to handle all those strategies. So likewise, so many skills are there. Among all those skills, so management, classroom management is considered as a very important skill. Why? Why? So as a teacher, we should know how to control the classroom because you are the manager of that class. Sorry. You are the manager of that class. So we have to manage our students. Okay, so classroom management skill is very important because in a poorly managed classroom, we cannot expect a good learning. So that learning management, that is the classroom management, and also the learning outcomes are positively correlated. So many researches were conducted on this. So if you are able to manage the class means, so that students' outcomes will be more. So that is very important skill in classroom management. Skill is very okay. So now I share my PPT. So I ask you one question. As a teacher, suppose if you are facing this situation, how would you handle a situation where a student is consistently late to your class? How would you handle a situation where a student is consistently late to your class? Any suggestion? Counseling, giving counseling, guidance and counseling. Then so only one answer. We'll talk to him and find out the cause is exactly. We should understand the situation, okay? Doing action research to real problem, contact parents, home visit. Okay, discuss the problems. What is the situation? Okay, so just I expect some more thing. First of all, just we have to explain the rules and regulations. I will explain all the components. So we have to explain the rules and regulations of the schools, and also yes, discuss the problem. Yes, thank you for all your response. And also at the same time, we have to explain the consequences also to that students. So if they are coming late, what action so we will take? So they should know what are the consequences of their action. Okay, so that is all the responses is okay. Just we have we can give guidance and counseling, and we can find out that the cause of that problem, and we can do some action research, all the things. Then after that repeated actions, we have to contact their parents, and also we have to tell our rules and also the consequences and what are the actions we can take. So all the responses, thank you for all your responses. And again I will. Okay, so why it is important? Why the classroom management is considered as a very important skill? First, it's for correcting the behavior problems. Suppose the students, that classroom management skill is very important for correcting the behavior problems of the students. Suppose the student is always talking. So first we should address that problem. First you focus on the behavior of the student first. After that you can go to the lesson. First, you should address what is the problem of that student, and then you can go to the session. Then, second important is establishing a learning culture. First, as a teacher, first we have to make the student to stay on their task. Suppose if somebody is disturbing the student, means first we have to address that. After that, we have to make all the students to stay on that task. The third one is building relationship. We have to make the relationship. Just I asked some questions, Lingla. So what made you to think about that? So that is building relationship with the students. Just we have to create a free and it's a free environment and a happy environment for the students. And also at the same time, promoting health and safety. For promoting the health and safety environment, that is classroom management, it's very, very important. And clarifying the process. So we have to clarify the rules and guidelines and regulations of that school, and at the same time, classroom rules and regulations also. And encouraging accountability. So they should know that they should be accountable. So what they are doing, what are the consequences? Then at the same time, accommodating the diversity and inclusions. So that is this, they have to accommodate all the students irrespective of their that is other problems. Okay, so that is accommodating diversity and inclusive education is also very important, so that the classroom management skill is also very necessary and important for all the teachers. What is this classroom management? Just we know that it's managing the classroom. So it's create an organized and functional environment for the teacher and the students. Just we are creating very organized one, and also very that is we are organizing the resources and also the people and other helpers, so that the teaching and learning can process in an efficient and safe manner. If you are organized in a well manner, so the learning will also take place in an efficient manner. It also explained as the actions and directions that teachers use to create a successful learning environment. For creating that successful learning environment, we have to organize all the things. That is the material resources and also that human resources. And mainly the classroom management focuses on three major components. The first one is content management. The second one is conduct management. And also third one is covenant management. What is this content management? We know that in online classroom also, and also the face-to-face classroom also, we have to manage the content. So content management means how we are managing the content. Because for a teacher, so content knowledge is also very important. So that's we have to make a blueprint of the content or instructions before going for the lesson, so that we are preparing that lesson plan. So content, we have to manage the content first. So first we have to fix the objectives, and we have to develop the content and what learning experience we are going to provide and what evaluation strategies we are going to provide. Just all the things we have to plan well in advance. There's a planning for the content delivery is also very important. That is called as content management, how we are managing the content. So what content we are going to teach, what learning experiences we are going to provide, what evaluation strategies we are going to use to test that objectives. Okay, so first we have to fix the objectives, and also we develop the content. At the same time, we are preparing the what learning experiences we are going to use, and what evaluation strategies we are going to use to test or to check whether we realize the objectives or not. The second one is conduct management. It's related to the behavior problems, how we are managing the behavioral issues. It may be a minor problem or it may be a major problem. How we are dealing with the behavioral aspects. So covenant management is like it's a social group activities. So social activities, how we are making the student to interact with other, how we are making them to, how we are encouraging that social relationship with other students, how we are giving that group activities, group discussions like that, how we are managing those group activities. And before going to this classroom management, first as a teacher, first we should analyze our teaching style. So many teaching styles are there, because each teacher's teaching style is different. So likewise, so what are the common teaching styles are there? So first you assess your teaching style. So classroom management skills is consist of all those things. How we are presenting our material, how we are making relationship with our students, how we are engaging the students, how we are taking care of the students. So all these things. So first thing is teaching style. First we should know what teaching style is suitable for the particular group of students. For example, if you are in the primary system, what teaching styles we can prefer? Or otherwise, you are in the higher education, we are dealing with the higher education students, what teaching style we can prefer? So many teaching styles are there. It's all under 4 categories. First one is lecturer. So just lecturer, it's like a one-way presentations. So just it's like a one-way, means just we are presenting the material, that's all. It's a one-way process alone. It's like the second one is a demonstrator. It's the best teaching style. It's a lecture style with more interactivity. Just in between, I can ask the questions and we can give some demo about the particular concepts or particular thing. And the third one is facilitator. So facilitator is also very important teaching style. So it's like inquiry-based learning for students. Just we make the students to do that activities. So just it's like giving guidance, and we are appreciating. Just we can appreciate to do that activities like that. We are facilitating the students, and dedicator focus on groups or individual students. So we are focusing on a particular group or also individual attention. Just first we should decide which one is suitable for which group of students. Is a lecturer it's okay means just we can go for so lecturer is also very important. So nowadays the definition of teaching is sharing of information, so that we are sharing our information with the students. Just teachers, they communicate with the students, and at the same time students also they share their information with the teachers. Okay, so first you analyze your teaching style. If, for example, for B.Ed students, you are going to teach micro teaching means first you decide which teaching style is better. So suppose if you are going to teach that explanation skill means you can select the lecturer teaching style. Just you can explain the concept. One day process is enough. Okay, so just you can explain the concept by using that explanation skill. So likewise, first as a teacher, first you should analyze your teaching style. So which teaching style is suitable for which group of students? And then assessing your classroom management needs. So before selecting that the strategies of classroom management, first we should assess our classroom environment. So first, what is the needs of your students? First, evaluate your classroom environment. So what is the environment, classroom culture of your classroom? That is student culture of your classroom. And recognize your student behavior patterns. That is, behavior patterns means our students are struggling with the material. That is, they're not able to understand the concept. Suppose if the students, 35 students are there, means first you should analyze. Just you have to analyze how many of them are high achievers, low achievers, and also the medium achievers. First we have to categorize. It's not like that. Just we can analyze that, like how many of the students are struggling to understand the concept. And then most of the students are bored or disengaged, means we have to give concentration on that. And then what are the external forces are contributing that particular behavior? So all these things are related to the student's behavior. First, the total classroom culture. After that, we have to analyze the student behavior pattern. And then just it will take at least 1 month. So we have to analyze the behavior patterns of the students, and we can record that events. Just by observing the behavior pattern of the students, we can record it. And then we have to identify the areas for improvement. For example, if you want to explain about some rules and regulations of the school, first, for the first 1 month, we can observe just their punctuality and all. So after that, we can explain about the rules and regulations. So before starting the regular classroom, we can explain all the rules and regulations. But after the observation also, we can fix. So these are all the rules and regulations of the school and also as well as the classroom. Okay, you can fix the rules and regulations, and if possible, you can paste it in the classroom walls also. So whenever you have a time, just you force the students to follow that rules and regulations. Suppose the second one is there a need to focus on building a positive classroom culture? So is there a need? So positive classroom culture, that's a positive relationship. So to make the students to mingle with other students. Okay, and consider implementing strategies to address any identified issues. Specific issues is there means, is there any strategy we have to follow? So all these things we have to analyze first. As a teacher, first we should analyze our teaching style. So after that, we have to assess the classroom needs. So for example, for the 10th standard classroom, after the assessment, we can conclude that, so these are all the things we have to concentrate. So for example, for the higher education means, it's for a first year classroom, we can analyze all the problems and we can conclude that these are the things we have to concentrate. So this is the classroom management needs analysis. Okay, so after that, the third point is classroom management style. Now we can decide that style. So many styles. So mainly four classroom management styles are there. First one, authoritarian, authoritative, permissive, and intelligent. You know that what is this authoritarian? That is like strict rules and high expectations. It's a one-man army. Just what the teacher wants to do, they will do. So that is authoritarian principle. What is this authoritative? It's like dynamic. So very warm and support and structured. The teacher will create very structured environment, and they will fulfill the expectations of the students, and they will provide some warm and supportive environment and very happy environment for the students. And permissive, it's very relaxed and very lenient, and also the student, they will take autonomy. And intelligent also, it's like very student relationship, it's like very dull classroom environment only. So better you can select that authoritative management style. So that is authoritative management is dynamic. So we are mingling with the students. We can mingle with the student, and also we can give guidance to the students. We can analyze their problems. We can give solution for that problem also. If we follow some structure in that classroom, we can give some warm and supportive environment for the students. So authoritative teaching style, classroom management style is very important one. And also classroom management skills. So it's considered as 3 C's of classroom management, or communication, classroom culture, and consistency. What is this communication? As a teacher, we have to communicate clearly to the students. So then classroom culture, we have to create a supportive environment for the students. And consistency. But for example, if we are enforcing the consequences, the consistency is very important. Okay, we will explain all these things. I will explain. And what are the other 4 C's? Critical thinking, communication, and collaboration, and creativity is also considered as very important skills of classroom management. That is, for example, is a 4 C's is a 21st century skills. So that is, we have to create, we have to communicate clearly, and we have to make the students to collaborate. We have to make the students to think in a creative manner. And classroom management skill, first as a teachers. As a teacher's role, what is the teacher's role in classroom management? For example, first, be an authoritative figure. So how be an authoritative means be confident. First thing is be confident in all your activities. And whenever you talk, just you give clear explanations. Just be confident and be clear in your presentation, and also that building a culture. So how we can build a culture? First one is vision and goals. It's based on the classroom culture. You can create the vision and also goals. Goals means it's a smart goals. Just you can discuss with your students, and you can ask the students to create their own goals, what they need. Just you clarify and classify as a smart goals. That is very specific goals. So very specific goals means first it may be a very simple goal. Just I want to read in a fluent manner. It may be a goal for some students. Just you give a very clear goal, specific goal, and you prepare all those goals for group goals, and you paste it in your classroom walls. So whenever you have time, you ask the students to follow this, that. What are the goals you achieved? What are the objectives you achieved after 2 months or after 3 months? And likewise, you can create some visions and goals. And the visions are also it's combined with the school visions. Okay. So second one is incorporate rituals and themes. So make the student to celebrate some festivals and also even some important events and some birthday events, and make the student to visit some field trip. Okay, like that we can create some rituals and themes. And also student needs. Analyze your student needs. Even for personal problems also you can analyze and create the environment. So it can create a happy and safe environment where the student can express their feelings. So this is the building a culture related components. And classroom rules and regulations. Just rule establishment. First you establish your rules. So classroom rules. So what are the classroom rules? The punctuality, what time you have to enter into the classroom, and while distribute, and make a procedure. Make a procedure for that rule, procedure for group activities, because during the group activities only the students, they will disturb the regular the class activities. Okay, so during the group activities what they have to do, just separate the procedures. And during the distributing the material, suppose if you are giving some assignment, if they are submitting the assignment, just you do some procedures where they will submit the copies and all, and when the time, so everything you have to do. So set up the procedures and the rules. So it will help the teacher to run the class without any inhibitions or hindrance. So the classroom rules and regulations, and also the consequences. As I said earlier, they should know the consequences of their problem behavior. So what are the basics? And then documentation. As a teacher, we should document their behavior issues. Suppose that some students is doing some activities, behavioral, that is misbehavior activities repeatedly, means we have to concentrate on that one and we have to record it. So frequency of that misbehavior, and also that we have to address that problem immediately. Suppose it's a misbehavior is, it's frequently it's happening, means we have to address the issue and we have to take it to the authorities, that is administratives or otherwise to the parents. And how we implementation. So implementation means how we are implementing that actions. The main thing is the teachers should know where, at what, where we have to react. That means when we have to react. That is at where means suppose if the two students are misbehaving, it's a seriously, that the matter is serious, means just immediately we have to react. So otherwise it's a small problems, means just we can give some guidance and counseling. So if it's a major issue, means we have to take that matter into the administrations immediately, or otherwise we have to take that matter into the parents, So implementation and class disruptions. So 3 types are there. Minor disruptions. Minor disruption means it's a speaking with nearby, tapping the pencil in the table. So chronic disruption means after addressing the issues to the students, after that they are making some nuisance, that is problems, means just it's called as a chronic disruptions. Major disruption means it's like it's threatening, like that. Okay, so these are all the disruptive behaviors. So minor disruptions, chronic disruption, and also the major disruptions. So what are the instructions for classroom management? How we are managing that classroom? First, be fair, firm, and consistent. So that students are by nature the morality police. They can spot inconsistencies a mile away and take joy in calling you out on it. So that students may not enjoy consequences of inappropriate behavior, suppose, but they will respect your decisions if they know that you are fair and apply discipline or consequences fairly. And also, witness. It refers to a teacher's awareness of what is going on in the classroom. So, first as a teacher, we should know and aware about what is going on in the classroom. So then only we can know that discipline problems occur. The teacher consistently takes action to suppress the misbehavior of exactly those students who instigated the problem. So if suppose discipline problems occur, means First we should know what problems is going on. So then only we can take action to suppress the misbehavior. And then when two discipline problems arise concurrently, the teacher deals with the most serious first. First, we have to address the most serious issues. And the teacher decisively handles instances of task behavior before the behaviors either get out of the hand or modeled by others. And when handling misbehavior, make sure all students learn what is unacceptable about that behavior. Okay, so when handling the misbehavior, we should make sure all students there learn what is unacceptable about that behavior. And getting angry or stressed does not reduce the future misbehavior. So we have to deal with just very calm manner and deal with misbehavior without disrupting the learning activity. So without disturbing the learning process, we have to deal with the misbehavior of the student. And actions speak louder than words. So proximity and body language is also very, very important. So eye contact and facial expressions, gestures, physical proximity to students, and the way you carry yourself will communicate that you're in calm control of the class and mean to be taken seriously. So body language is very important to manage the classroom. Just eye contact. So that I said be confident. So facial expression is also very important. And be free to row and avoid turning. So avoid turning back to class and develop effective behavior cues. Focus attention on entire class. That's very important. So we have to focus attention on entire class. Launched bench student also. Don't talk over student chatter. Sometimes silence can also be more effective. Suppose if we want to address some minor issues, so 2 minutes silent is also very important. If you are in a silent mood means they will attend. So use softer voice. So students really have to listen to what you are saying. Raise your hand. And also laughter is the best medicine. So whenever it's time permits, whenever it's possible, just use some humor sense also. Use humor when appropriate places. So that it's also very important for the teacher. Be able to laugh at yourself. Never use sarcasm. Put students on the defensive and damages your relationship. Okay, so just humor sense is also very important for the teachers. Whenever, just if you want to make them to feel free, just sometimes you can use humor also. Stellar performance. So confrontation gives students a stage to perform. Avoid power struggles. So sometimes we cannot take all the problems. So just you select. It's a problem is worthy. So we can address those problems. So every performer needs a stage. Confrontation gives students a stage to perform. So avoid power struggles. No one wins. So give students a dignified way to get out of the bad situations. So that address the behavior issues in a private whenever possible and wherever possible. And develop a thick skin. So don't take it personally. Suppose the kids is behaving in certain manner. Don't take it personally. So kids make poor choices. That is what they do. They misbehave. So that is their job. Kids test boundaries and limits. It's a natural part of growing up. So don't always do what we want them to, no matter how much they like us. So don't take it personally. So classroom management skill, a very important thing is if we are doing some activities, if you are taking some serious action means, so they will behave in a certain manner. So don't take it personally. So functions of behavior. Every behavior has a function. Why they are misbehaving? So many causes and so many reasons are there. So 4 primary reasons for disruptive behavior in the classroom. So first, power, and also the revenge, and also attention. Some attention-seeking behavior, or also they want to be left alone, disinterest or feelings of inadequacy. So these are all the primary reasons for their disruptive behavior in the classroom. So as a teacher, first we should analyze why the particular students are behaving in a particular manner. So for example, some students they will behave in a very good manner for some teachers. In some classrooms, they will misbehave. So the main reason may be a teachers. So if the teacher's attitude difference is also it's one of the cause. Suppose because of their the attitude towards the students. If they have the negative attitude towards the students' behavior, some particular group of students or some individual students, they will misbehave towards that particular teacher. So first we should analyze what are the main reasons or main causes for their behavior. So power and revenge, and also that attention, and also they want to be left alone. Functions of behavior. First, many misbehaviors exhibited by students are responses to behavior exhibited by the teachers. So the classroom environment means, just if, as she said earlier, so we have to create a conducive environment. So where the students feel free to express their feelings or their attitudes. So, for example, it's a classroom environment is a combination of the personality of the teachers and also the students. So likewise, we have to create the classroom environment so that we can analyze what are the causes of that misbehavior of the students. So do not tolerate undesirable behaviors no matter what the excuse. So, and understanding why a person exhibits a behavior is no reason to tolerate it. So we have to understand why the particular person exhibits the behavior in a particular way. And understanding the function of the behavior will help in knowing how to deal with that behavior. So these are all the reasons for that particular misbehaviors. And dealing with the off-task behaviors. Suppose it's just main intention is we have to make the student to continue on their task. So if the students are dealing with this off-task behaviors, what we have to do? Just we have to make the students to remain focused and calm and organize the tasks. So many strategies we know that. So that's repetition. Repetition is also very important strategies we can use to make the students to attend to or otherwise remain focused on their task. So just we can repeat the concept or we can repeat the rules and regulations again and again because the students may forget. Okay, so as a teacher, it's our responsibility to make the students to know about all the things. So just we have to make the students to remain focused and calm and organize the tasks and either respond decisively or ignore it altogether. And first, we should analyze we should distinguish between the off-task behaviors and also the patterns. So how they are doing, what make the students to do that particular off-task behavior activities and control the time and place for dealing with the off-task behavior. Suppose if they are doing these activities regularly in between the rest periods like that, first we can control the activities time and place. And also to provide students with dignified ways to terminate off-task behavior. Just we have to deal the students with dignity. Okay, so that is also very important when we manage the classroom. And make specific reference to behaviors. Do not make it a personal attack. So wherever the misbehaviors happen, just you make the specific reference to the behaviors, how it happens, what are the consequences of that behaviors like that. Do not make it to a personal attack. And remember that continuing with classroom instruction is always the main priority. So whatever the behaviors or misbehaviors happening, the main thing is we have to continue our task. The classroom instruction is always the main priority. In between, we have to address the local problems and also the serious issues. And avoid playing detective. So just it's not like a teacher's role is not like a detective. Just we have to deal with the major and minor problems. At the same time, we have to concentrate on the instruction also. And utilize alternative lesson plan. Suppose, as I said earlier, content management is also very important. Suppose if The problem is in that presenting the content, or actually presenting the content means providing the learning experiences. Suppose if you are giving only the lecture, or if you are giving only the demo, if they are interested in doing some activity, means we can change the plan. So according to the student state, we can change the plan. We can give some activity-based method for making them to understand the particular concept. Likewise, we can use alternative lesson plans. So suppose if we already prepared the lesson plan for learning experience for teaching the particular concept, if the particular learning experience is not suitable for them, means just we can change it. So we can provide some more type of learning experiences, for example, giving some group activities or giving some practical activities for making them to understand that particular concept. Just as a teacher, we have to know how to make the student to understand, that is, make them to do that particular activity to understand the particular concept, and utilize the help of colleagues. Suppose if you are not able to handle with the misbehaviors of the students, just you can get help from our colleagues also. It's also very important. And communicate and enlist the help of parents and guardians. So just as a teacher, first we have to record their misbehaviors and their frequency, and observe their misbehavior, and we can communicate to the administrator or otherwise to the parents, so that yes, we can make the parents also understand their problems. So power seeking behavior. Some students, they feel they will make the teachers to provoke it a struggle. So power-seeking students attempt to provoke teachers into struggle of wills. That is, in most cases, the teacher should direct attention to other members of the class. So power-seeking, they want to be dominate that class sometimes. Okay, and attention-seeking. Some students, they want some attention. They prefer being punished, and they want to criticize to being ignored. For that students, just as a teacher, we have to give attention to that students when he or she is on task and cooperating. Suppose if they are doing the work task in a very good manner, means we have to appreciate them. Or otherwise, if they are ready to present something, some task, means we have to appreciate their effort, and we have to appreciate their involvement also. That is because attention-seeking behavior, they need some attention. So like this, and catch them being good, and let them know you caught them. So that we have to make them just, okay, we understood that she is doing all the things in a good manner. She is capable of doing all the things. She is doing the task in a very good manner. Like that, you have to make them to understand like that. And behavior. So I am going to give some behavior. Just you give what are the expected classroom management strategies we can use. So, suppose rambling is wandering around off the subject. So some boys, some students, they will, in between the class duration, they will asking some questions about it's irrelevant questions. They will ask some irrelevant questions. What you will do? So when they are wandering around off the subject, what we can do? What are the possible management strategies we can use? So first strategy is possible responses, or first refocus attention by restating the relevant point. So we have to make the student to focus that. That is a repetition. Just we can repeat the process. We can refocus the attention by restating the relevant point. Again and again, we can restate the points. And other possible response, direct questions to group that is back on the subject. Suppose if he is telling some irrelevant things, means we can ask questions about that particular concept. So direct questions to group that is back on the subject. And also use visual aids. So suppose the main important thing is, while presenting our material or concept, if you are using some teaching aids like multimedia, it will make the student to attend. That is, it will attract the student to attend the class, so that we are using the PPT and all. So use visual aids, begin to write on board or turn on overhead projector. Suppose when I hear, I forget. When I do, I understand. When I see, I remember. When I hear, I forget. When I see, I remember. When I do, I understand. So that we can make the student to do activities in the classroom in board. Suppose if we are teaching the math or statistics, we can ask the students and come and write in the board. Or otherwise, we can use some PPT, animated PPTs like that. So it will make the student to attend clearly. So these are all the possible strategies, class management strategies we can use for the particular students. So would you summarize your main point, please, or are you asking? Likewise, if you suppose some students is making the teacher to go beyond the subject, means we can ask the students to just you summarize what you have learned. So for the last 45 minutes, what you have learned, you can summarize. Like that, we can make the student to refocus on that point. So these are all the possible classroom management strategies for the particular behavior. So suppose a particular student is doing this particular activity, means you can do all these strategies. Refocus his attention by restating. That is, again and again we are telling means, so automatically he will attend the lesson. And asking the questions about the particular concept. And after that, you can use some aids, some multimedia or some blackboard, or we can use any aids to make the student to attend the particular concept or the class. And also, would you summarize your main point? Like that, you can ask questions. Just can you please summarize the concept, what you have learned? And talkativeness. So some girls or some boys, some students, always they will talk about something. So I know everything like. So for that behavior, what we can do? So for talkativeness, dealing with the talkativeness, so acknowledge the comments made. First, we have to acknowledge. So they are telling some very good response, or otherwise they are giving detailed explanations. Just we can acknowledge their comments. So, and give limited time to express. Just that is the management. So for each individual, you can give that limited time. Okay, so then only we can control their behavior. Give limited time to express their viewpoint or feelings, and then they move on. And make eye contact. It's very important. So be bold and make the eye contact with another participant and move toward that person. Suppose, so if the particular student is speaking that it's beyond the time, so you can make eye contact with another participant. There's a nearby participant, you can make the eye contact and move toward that person. So then the person, he will be very quiet. And then the next one, give the person individual attention during breaks. So during the break time, you can give that talkative person individual attention. So these are all the possible management strategies for the talkativeness, that is for that particular behavior issues. So and also that is an interesting point. Now let's see what other people think. Suppose if this is telling some detailed explanation for the questions, so you can first you acknowledge that point, and then you can say that it's an interesting point. Now let's see what other people think. Okay, so make the student to understand other students also want to talk about that particular concept. So we have to make the student to understand other peer group also want to talk about that particular concept. So these are all the possible management strategies while dealing with the particular classroom behavior. And sharpshooting. So trying to shoot you down or trip you up. Some students, sometimes they will make the teachers to just, how can I say, that sometimes they will argue with the teachers. So at that time what we can do, that what we can do, it means how we can manage that misbehaviors. So what are the possible response? So admit that you do not know the answer and redirect the question, the group or the individual who asked it. Okay, so next, acknowledge this is a joint learning experience. So just we have to make the student to realize, so this is a joint learning experience, not it's a place for argue. And sometimes we can ignore the particular behavior and speak to the student in a private, take the stage away. So first, we have to address that problem. Sometimes we can ignore the behavior. Okay. And also grandstanding, that is getting caught up in one's own agenda or thoughts to the detriment of others. It's like the same behavior. It just for this behavior, we can use some strategies. In the same way, we can ask some questions about that particular concept. So suppose if you are entitled to your opinion, belief, or feelings, it's time we moved on to the next subject. Likewise, so many misbehavior problems will arise. So we can use some strategies like asking questions or make the student to understand others' opinion, others' feelings also. And also overt hostility, resistance, angry, and combative behavior. So just as a teacher, we can respond to their behavior. At the same time, we should be very calm and polite. And we should keep our temper in check. And sometimes you don't disagree. And at the same time, you make the student to understand. We have to make the student to understand what is his behavior, what is the consequences of that behavior, how his behavior is affecting the instructions of the class. So I'll always allow him or her a way to gracefully retreat from the confrontations. Okay, so move closer to the hostile person, maintain the eye contact. So these are all the possible classroom management. So that is how we can use these strategies to the particular, because these are the sample behaviors only. Likewise, we can expect some other behaviors also, misbehavior. And also that gripping, maybe legitimate complaining. So always complaining about the rules and regulations of the classroom and also the rules and regulations of the schools. So for that, students, we have to point out, we can't change the policy. So the policy rules are rules. So we have to obey the rules. And sometimes we can validate his or her point and indicate, we will discuss the problem with the participant privately and indicate the time pressure also. So is in all the behavior problems, the main thing is we have to make the student to understand. So knowingly or unknowingly, they are distracting the other students. They are making the other students, they are disturbing the other students' learning process. So first, in privately or otherwise, we have to make the student to understand the consequences of the misbehavior also. And side conversation, it's maybe a minor problem, and sometimes it will create some major problem for the particular students. It may be related to subject or personal. It distracts the group members and also the teachers also. Side conversation means speaking with nearby persons and also sometimes doing some activities. So these are all the minor problems only. But if you are not addressing these minor problems, it will create some major issues for other students also. So what are the other strategies we can use? Don't embarrass the talkers. Ask their opinion on topic being discussed. So all the things, all strategies are, we have to make that misbehavior student to stay on task once again. So we have to make them to concentrate on the task again. So So that is the main strategy. So our purpose is we have to we have to make the students to concentrate on task, so that if the particular student is misbehaving, just we make or we ask the student to we ask the student to concentrate on task. So that is the major point. Then ask their opinion on topic being discussed, and ask talkers if they would like to share their ideas. Just we can give that question, we can ask question and ask their opinions or ask their ideas, and casually move towards those talking. Make eye contact with them. So these are all the possible responses. These are the possible management strategies we can use for the problematic behavior students. And standing near the talkers and ask a nearby participant a question, so that the new discussion is near the talkers. Okay, so these are all the possible responses. Now we have to do some checklist. Checklist as a teacher for managing our classroom. What I have to do? First, rules and consequences. How many rules will you have? Suppose if a classroom teacher, what are the rules or you have? How many consequences will you have? What techniques will you use to remain consistent in enforcing them? But suppose if the student is not punctual, means what are the consequences? What actions you will take? And what techniques or how consistent you are for enforcing that rules? Suppose if they are not giving assignment in a proper time, what is the consequences, and how consistent you are in making them to follow the rules? So first we have to analyze, and we have to make it's like a blueprint. We have to make the rules and consequences and techniques. What techniques we can follow for making the student to follow the rules. And also while entering the class, so before going to the class, while entering the class, where you will be when students enter the class. It's also very important for the management, where you will be and what will you be doing as students enter the classroom. Because before the classroom start, so many problems will arise. So how we are managing, and how do you want students to enter the class? What procedures you are following? What procedure you are following? What rules you have? And just these are all you have to think. And what do you expect students to do once they enter the class before the bell rings? So do you have any procedure for the rules for the latecomers, or what do you expect students after coming to the class? So they have to go and sit, they will submit the assignment or the diary and all. What procedures you have to explain all the things. What do you expect the students to do once after they enter the class before the bell rings? So these are all the before class timings. Now it's during the class. So during the class times, what will our procedures be when students are late? So during the class timings. So because the latecomers always, if they are coming late, means we have to ask questions like that, it will interrupt the class also. How will you ensure the procedures causes the least amount of class interruptions? So what are the causes? What are the procedure of for latecomers? And just you should ensure that procedures will not interrupt the class also. And this next one, what techniques will you use to get the attention of students? How do you want students to get your attention? So after the interruptions, how will you get that students' attention again? And then do you want a procedure for students to leave their seat? For example, so in between, if they want to leave, what procedures you have to follow? And what will your cell phone policy? So you are taking your cell phone to the classroom. What is your policy? So these are all our self-analysis we have to check. So these are all related to our classroom management. What system will you use for the distribution and collection of handouts? So that is the distributing material and collecting the assignments. It's very, sometimes it will disturb the class. So what system will you use? Well, suppose if we can give the assignments, we can give that to materials and also to the leaders, and we can ask the student leader to distribute the material. That is one procedure. Or otherwise, it's the teacher himself or herself, they can distribute the material. And what system will you use for students to turn in work? So these are all the self-analysis. So before going for class, what structure we are going to follow, and during the class, what structure, what rules and procedures we have. So we have to analyze all the things. And when is the most opportune time for handout distribution and collection as well as for turn-ins? So during the period or beginning of the class, so everything we have to analyze. When we can give that material. Okay, so when we can ask the students to submit the assignment, and how will you handle student use profanity? And what will you do to lesson class interruptions, such as students asking for supplies for makeup or etc. Suppose if they want extra time for something, how we can give, and what policy will you have for students borrowing supplies from you? What system will be in place for students leaving the room to use the bathroom and get water, go to the office, to the nurse, to the counselor, etc. Okay, so these are all the basic things, but all these things, first we should plan the procedures for all these aspects. So before classroom, what we have to plan, and during the classroom, after class time also. And what procedure or system will be in place for students who were absent and make up work. So taking attendance is also very important. So absentees, so if they are continuously absent, means what procedures we have to take, what system we have for the long absentees. Like that, as a teacher, we should plan all these things. What will be your makeup work policy, and what tool will you use to keep track of incidents that happen in class? For recording all the incidents, as I said earlier, we have to record each and every aspect. Suppose if you are giving assignments, now we are using that learning management system for keeping everything. But what procedures, likewise, what procedure you are using for recording all your events? What tool? It's only the diary you are using, just what I am going to do for the next 1 hour. So what procedures, what tool you are using for your recording all your events? Suppose if you are handling, today you are handling some problem of some students, just what actions you are going to take. Like that, you have to record all the aspects. Their misbehavior pattern also, misbehavior consequences also, everything you have to record all the things. For that recording purposes, what type of tools you are using? So keep track of incidents that happen in class. Then what tool will you use to keep track of students if you give them detention? And what system will you use to organize information about your special education students? Suppose some special education students also, what type of enrichment activities or special activities you are going to give. Like that, you can record. What system or tools will you use to store extra copies of handouts? So suppose if you are preparing the question paper or handouts, if you have that extra copies or extra things, so how you are managing all these things. So these are all the simple things only, but as a teacher we have to plan all the things. And leaving the class, so before class and also the during the class. Now it's about the leaving the class. So while leaving the class, how will students turn in their work? So after that 45 minutes or 1 hour, after completion of that durations, what they will do? So where will you turn in work? What are students expected to do, not to do while waiting for the bell to ring? So what they will do while waiting for the next session? So in between. So that is the main period for most of the misbehaviors will happen. So that's what they will do during that 5 to 10 minutes or 5 to 10 to 15 minutes period. So these are all things we have to plan. And after class, what techniques will you use to keep a record of parent contact for positive and negative behavior? Suppose if you want to give some positive comments, we can pass the positive comments to the parents. So what type of technique you are using? So through WhatsApp message, or only through the diary message, or through personal phone contact? What system will you use to keep a record of who attends detention? And what will your policy be for student who missed detention without an excuse note? What system will you have in place for coach class? Keeping a record of, suppose if you are giving some special class for the students, how you identify the weaker section, low achievers, how you are giving the activities for that low achiever students. Likewise, is content wise also, and also behavior wise also, and personal. For managing all these things, we have to plan previously. What system will you have in place for coach class? What will your policy be for students who skip yesterday class? Suppose for absentees, suppose it's a continuous absentees or 1 or 2 absent, what procedures they have to follow after coming the class? So what procedures you have? Okay, suppose if they are conducting the test, means if the retest is possible, so you can allow the students to do the retest. Likewise, what procedures you have? So for each classroom, you set the procedures and rules and make the student to aware about that rules and procedures of your classroom. So these rules and procedures it's based on your this overall administration rules and regulations. Okay, so that organization classroom, what tools will you use to organize your classroom? And what is the most strategic way to set up your classroom? So the classroom environment is also very important. So how the arrangement of seats and the seat arrangement, that's we have to have that moving space also. So we have to concentrate on the last bench students also. Likewise, the environment, the seating arrangement and the overall environment, lighting, and also suppose if a science laboratory, means we can paste that some important science events posters. Suppose it's some Tirukural, like that we can paste. So creating a conducive environment is a free environment, means we have to make all these arrangements also. And teacher, as a teacher, what's our role? What essential do you need to keep your desk organized? How will you keep track of your daily lessons? So these are all the repeated questions only. So, but every aspects we have to analyze. So how will you keep track of the daily lessons you teach for each class? How will you keep track of important meetings? Suppose if we are going to attend an important meeting, how we are managing that time, the class time, that what's the procedure, your school procedures. So we have to make other teacher to attend your class, or what's the procedure you are following. And suppose the parent or parent meeting, or suppose the student is going for some conferences, what procedures they have to follow. So these are all that related to the management. Where will you store graded work? So that is paperwork, and also the graded copies and attendance, everything where will you store? And what system will you have for returning graded work, ensuring the least amount of interruption to the class? So how they are giving that feedback to the students? Through parents, or daily feedback, or after the test, how through only that written statements? Likewise, how we are planning to give the feedback to the students? And consistency. It's very important is consistency. If you are doing the work, that is all the planning works, so consistency is very important to follow all the rules and regulations, and also procedure. So it's very important for the teachers. So we have to follow the rules consistently. Okay. So what techniques will you use to ensure you remain consistent in enforcing your classroom rules, policies, procedures, and system and consequences? So consistency is also very important. Sometimes we may follow the rules, or sometimes we may not follow the rules. Suppose if the student is so for example, today some students, if they one student, they got fever, he is not able to attend the test, means we can give some permission, or we can make the student to attend the test again with after getting the proper permission from the administrator. So likewise, sometimes we may consider some of their problems also. Likewise, so these are all the general rules and regulations or procedures which we can follow while managing the classroom. So these are all the small things only. But if we plan all these things according to the students' needs, we can create a conducive environment in which the students, they can freely interact with each other, and also with the learning process will be happen in a better way. So likewise. So the next one is I will share some of the things. So just I want to show you one motivational video.
Being a teacher is hard. Being a teacher can be brutal. Being a teacher can be frustrating. Being a teacher means making sacrifices. So why do you do it? Why do you continue to show up day after day, year after year? Walking into a classroom in the early morning hours, preparing for a day you know you really can't prepare for. How many times do you plan out your day only to have something come up and throw your whole day's plan off? Then your students begin to arrive. You greet them and get the class in order. And all you want to do is sit down at your desk and take a few sips of your coffee, which by this time is probably getting cold. We all know teachers love their coffee. And you probably don't want to bother a teacher before they have had their morning coffee. That is a good way to get on a teacher's bad side. Being a teacher requires a lot of energy, mental energy, physical energy, emotional energy. And by the end of the day, your energy is depleted and you need to recharge. So why do you do it? Why do you continue to come back day after day, year after year, over and over again? It's not for the money. I don't think I have ever heard a person say, I want to become a teacher because they make good money. It's not because of the holidays or time off. Many of you are probably taking on additional schoolwork, working multiple jobs throughout the school year, or working summer jobs just so you can be able to survive. So why do you do it? There are plenty of other jobs out there that are better paid and less demanding. So why do you do it? You do it because being a teacher is about more than teaching. Anyone who thinks teaching is just about transfer of knowledge from teacher to student, you are wrong. Being a teacher is about being an investor. Every day, you invest your time in these students with a hope that by the end of the year, the outcome is greater than the time invested. Being a teacher is about being a mentor, guiding students down the correct path, giving them the support they need to succeed. being a role model to them. Being a teacher is about having empathy and sympathy, taking the time to understand your students' behavior and emotions. Being a teacher is about being a counselor. Being a teacher is about making sacrifices for your students, giving up lunch periods to help students who may be falling behind, giving up weekends to grade paper or prepare assignments. Being a teacher is about being an innovator, finding new ways to keep students engaged and improve learning. Being a teacher is sometimes about being another parent to these kids. Let's be honest, sometimes the teacher is just as invested in these students' lives as their parents. So why do you do it? You do it because you want to make a difference in these students' lives, because you want to give them the best opportunity to be successful. You do it because you know what it is like to not have someone guide you in the right direction. You do it because you know what it is like to have something dramatic going on in your life and no one to talk to. You do it because maybe when you were in school and a teacher helped you overcome a difficult situation. Think of a school as a forest, and a classroom is one of the trees in the forest. You, the teacher, are the tree trunk. You are the anchor, the foundation. You are the roots of a student's education and help shape their lives. Your students, they are the branches. At first, these branches are short and fragile, but they grow. How do they grow? From the nutrients passed to them up from the roots. As these little weak branches grow, they become bigger and stronger. At first, it may not seem like you are doing much, but being a teacher, it's also about having patience. It can take years before a tree produces a single fruit, but every year it continues to grow and get stronger because its roots continue to feed it the nutrients it needs to survive. The roots don't give up after the first year when there's no fruit. It continues doing their job, and so do you. And in that forest, you may not be able to see the sky, but because of the roots, the strong support system, the strong foundation, your students can. They lift their arms high and they move forward without limits, without fear. And you made it happen.
So the roots. So you are only post all the nutrients to our branches. So as a teacher, we have all the responsibility. So as a teacher, we have to address their misbehavior also, and we have to make them to understand, and we have to make them to learn, and we have to make them to we have to inspire them, and we have to make them as a good citizen. So these are all our responsibility. So thank you for the opportunity. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah. No duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks. So I'm delighted to deliver a vote of thanks at this juncture. On behalf of Michael Jove College of Education, first of all, may I submit all our gratitude to the Almighty Lord for making this program a grand success. My heartfelt thanks to our President Dr. Mary Job and Mr. T. Koshi, Vice President Head MJC, for their moral support and encouragement. My sincere thanks to our beloved Secretary, Mr. Babu P. Varu, and Ms. Elizabeth T., Trustee and Head Operations, Mr. Matthew V. Francis, our CEO, for their continuous motivation in organizing this event. My wholehearted thanks to our Principal Dr. R. Ravi for his valuable guidance and encouragement. Mere words are not at all enough to show our gratitude for today's speaker. Dr. S. Tangarajati, Professor, Bardiyar University, Coimbatore. Ma'am, your session about classroom management skills is really worth listening and helps us to upgrade our skills to manage classrooms effectively. The components of classroom management, teaching styles, 3 C's, LMS tools are really helpful to lead our classrooms daily. Finally, your video on being a teacher is heartwarming. Once again, you have proved that you are not only an educational technologist, but also an educational psychologist. So really, it was very inspiring. Thanks a lot, ma'am. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our management, Mr. Kurvilla, manager, Mr. Joseph Ilya Sabina, Hostel MJC, Dr. Shalini PK, Principal, Michael Jove College of Arts and Science, Mr. Shanti, Principal, Michael Jove Higher Secondary School, and Dr. R. Gokilavani, IQAC Coordinator, Michael Jove College of Education. A special word of gratitude to our technical supporter, Mrs. Divya Bharati, and my co-organizers, Dr. D. Kalaivani and Dr. J. Emmanuel Johnson. My sincere thanks goes to my fellow faculty members and staff members at this juncture. At the end, our heartfelt thanks to each and every one of the participants for joining us enthusiastically. Please stay connected with us, and thank you very much. Remember about our upcoming FDPs. The flyer of the same is shared in the WhatsApp group. Dear participants, kindly submit your feedback forms, and you will be getting your certificates within a week's time. Once again, my sincere thanks to each and every one of you. Thank you very much.
Okay, ma'am. A sincere thanks especially goes to Dr. Tangarajati for today's speaker from my side. Thank you all.
So thank you so much. Thank you for the organizers and principal. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ramesh. We'll meet again. We will have series of FTPs for another 3 months, so we can meet again and again.
Thank you so much.
Month by month.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, madam. Tangarajati, madam.
Thank you, Tamil sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, organizers.
Lot of information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Ravi sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Talmudi. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.